Welcome! In this video I'll be taking a look at this GOPUSA multifunction inflator. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So this says suitable for DIY, car, bike, motorcycle, basketball. This has a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. It's 150 psi max. You can change the units between psi, kPa, bar, and kilograms per square centimeter. This also has a built-in light, and it can act as a USB power bank. So let's get this open. Here we have the instructions. So you can see the specs here. You can pause and read through those. So this has a preset tire pressure. It stops when full. Has emergency rescue light. Use hose hole pipe to connect air inlet and air outlet, which can be used as air extraction and blower. It says the vehicle can still be used when the vehicle power supply and battery are low. Here's a product diagram. So we have an inflation hose, a hose, increase or decrease air pressure, start switch, unit switching, light button, press once for LED, 2 for SOS, press 3 to flash. It has a USB Type-C charge port and a USB-A discharge port, 12 volt DC onboard power supply, start switch, LED light, air outlet. So this has an air inlet and outlet, has 12 volt power cord, USB charging cord, and it has a variety of different adapters here. So here are the instructions. It says connect one end of the air pipe to the air pump and screw the other end onto the tire valve core. If necessary, press the stop-start switch to start the power supply and set the air pressure on the LCD screen and automatically shut down after 60 seconds without operation. Charging time is 3 to 5 hours. These are the instructions for air blowing and extraction. We have some other notes here. It says high pressure will generate heat during inflation. In order to ensure good operation of the air pump, it is necessary to stop the machine for 15 minutes and use it after it cools down to extend its service life. So this isn't made to be a commercial inflator. It's made for emergencies and occasional use. It says it is not waterproof. It recommends charging it every 6 months if you're using it or not. This box will be accessories. So here's the air inflation hose. Here's the air pump hose. The nozzles for that. We have 12 volt power. We have a carry bag to keep everything together. In this bag we have the USB charge cable, we have a Prested Schrader adapter, a needle valve for sports equipment, and we have 2 inflator nozzles. Then here we have a variety of different nozzles. So these would be for like air mattresses and such. So it looks like there's protective film on here. Let me pull that off. There we go. So the high pressure goes out here. This is the lower pressure. Let's press the button to turn it on so we can see the display. It's lit up. It's really easy to see. So if we press this button here, this will go between the different modes. So this would be for bicycles. This would be for, I think, mopeds, cars, and sports equipment. So this will have the PSI or whatever unit you're in the range of the thing you're going to fill up. So bikes tend to have higher pressure. So the car, this says bar, we can hold this down and then we can change the units. So here we have PSI. And then we can adjust these here. So it looks like it starts at 36. So I think my car, one of them is 35. So we can set that to 35. Now if we press the middle button, it will turn the compressor on. Let's try that blower mode. So that's blowing the air out here. Then we also have that light. Let's turn it on. So there's the flashlight. There's the red strobe. It's kind of hard to see with my studio light on here. So that was SOS, this is the strobe, and then off. So I'll turn the lights off later so we can look at that a little closer. So on my bench here, let's try the inflator. So we have in and out. So this is going to have an adapter somewhere. Let's see, that would be this. So this is threaded here. So I'll just get it started. It should thread in this pipe. Like so. I'll put that in the out. I'll twist it so it has that little barb there. Stick it in and we'll twist it. Then the other end, let's go with this one. We'll screw it in and let's blow up this air pillow. So we'll pull the plug out here. Now to inflate these, I'll pinch it and I'll put this in and I'll get past the valve. Okay, I'll hold that on there and then I'll start this. Okay, I didn't quite pull that out fast enough, but try that again. I think the trick was to pull it out while it's still running. So here we've inflated our camp pillow. Now if we want to deflate it, it has that one-way valve in there. That can make it difficult to deflate. We can take this out and we can put it in here. And this wouldn't be super hard to deflate, it's small, but if you had a larger mattress, it can take a little bit to deflate it. So you can use this to help automate that. So we'll stick this in here, press the button. And we suck that down nice and flat. So that will make it easier to roll up and store. So that's nice that it has that inflator on there. Now if you're going camping, you could take all of the different nozzles for it, or you could just take the one that works with your air mattress. If you take all the nozzles, you'll probably become friends with other people you're camping with that don't have a nice inflator like this. So I'm going to get this charged all the way up, and then we'll go test it inflating some car tires. So to charge it, you'll use a USB charger. I have this one here. So I'll go to the end here, I'll plug into the USB port. First I'll turn it off here with the switch. And it's not showing a charge, so maybe it is charged all the way up already. Okay, so I ran the battery down on this so we could see it charge, and it's currently charging at 1.16 amps. So I'll let that finish charging up. We'll take it out the car and we'll test it out inflating some tires. Okay, so here I'm out at my garage, and we have the rear tire on this Subaru Outback. So to find the correct tire pressure, you want to look in the driver's door on the jam. So this is not the Outback, this is actually a different car. But you can see here it shows the front and rear tire PSI. It's 35 for each. It also has the pressure for the spare tire. Now in this car, it's 35 for the front and rear. On the Outback, it's 35 for the front and 33 for the rear. So you want to check that before you air up your tires. So here I have the inflator. I want to thread the hose here. You can see they're both orange colored. So we'll just tighten that in there. Okay, that's tight. Take the cover off the valve. We'll turn this on. It booted up into the car mode. I'll hold this down and I'll change it to PSI. And we'll change that to 33. Now we'll hook the valve up to the tire. So I'm going to press this onto the valve and then I'll push the lever down to lock it on. Okay, we're a little low, so I'll hit start. Not sure that was on all the way. Let's try that again. Okay, so that's done. It stopped at 33. I'll pop this off and we'll put the cap back on. Now this does make noise when it's inflating, but I'll say it's not as loud as some other inflators I've used. Now let's go fill up the front tire. So this one's 35. I'll just up it to 35. Okay, we're at a set point here. Now I didn't get that off fast enough. Let's see. Okay, let's try and pull that off again. It's best to pull it off in one quick motion so you don't lose any air. Next, let's head over to this bicycle. So the tires are running flat here. Hasn't been ridden because it's winter time. We can switch the mode here. So it's showing 45 PSI. That's within the range of this tire. I think it's 35 to 65, so we'll just go with that. Okay, so we're at 22 PSI. Okay, we're all done. Now this will go up to 150 PSI, so you can use that Presto adapter, and you can even fill up high pressure bike tires. Here I have a basketball. It says inflate 6 to 8 pounds. So I'll change this here. The ball, 6 to 8, we'll take that to, let's just go to 7. So I have the needle. I'll stick that in here. I'll clamp it down. Now it says to moisten the needle. So I'll stick that in there. It's showing 0 PSI. Let's start that. There we go. So growing up, when we would inflate sports equipment, we'd have a pump and we'd just kind of guess. It's nice being able to inflate it to a specific pressure. So I'm going to go top off the other 2 tires. I don't have a lot of room on that side of the car, so I'm not going to film that. Then we'll head back down to the bench and sum this up. I wanted to test the flashlight out a little bit. So I'm in my darkened stairwell. Let's turn the light on. So here we can see it lighting up the stairwell. So there is a little bit of a pattern in the light there. If you're doing something like changing a spare tire, that shouldn't be a problem. If you want to do some detailed work, This may not be the best light, but for an emergency light, I think that will work just fine. So the door is about 12 foot away. Let me turn on the red light. So here's the red flashing light. That's at the top of the stairs. That's very easy to see. And here it's flashing at a higher frequency. So that was the GOPUSA multifunction inflator. I really like the versatility of this. You have the high pressure inflation for things like car tires, bike tires, and then you have that lower pressure inflation for things like air mattresses and other inflatables. If you're to try to fill up a larger inflator with something like this, it would probably take a lot longer. This is a much quicker option. I really like how easy this was to use. You just dial in the pressure and hit the button. Now, one thing to point out about inflating your tires on your car is you should do it when your car is cold. So a good time to do it is early in the morning. Once you drive your car, they'll heat up and the pressure can increase. And that's okay, tires are designed to do that, but you really want to check the pressure when they're cool. So if you don't have a way to inflate your tires, you oftentimes will have to drive to a gas station or something, and by that time, you've driven your car, the tires are heated up, and you're not going to get as accurate of pressure. Now, I inflated the tires on this Subaru Outback, and it and other all-wheel drive cars, it's really important to have the correct pressure in all of your tires, not only to keep from having bad tire wear, but also puts less stress on the drivetrain. So we filled up those 4 tires, filled up the bicycle tire, inflated the basketball, and we're still at 3 bars here. So an inflator like this is great to keep in your car. If you have a slow leak, you can top off your tire. If you have a full-on flat tire, inflating it may not work. The leak may not be able to keep up. The leak may be too fast. So at that point, you'll be putting your spare tire on, and oftentimes people's spare tires are underinflated. So if you have this, you can top off your spare tire to the correct pressure, which is a much better option than just assuming it's correct, because chances are it's probably not. Since you already have this in your car, if you're doing a day at the beach and you want to inflate some inflatables, you can use this. If you're going camping, you could use this to air up your air mattress. And if the battery is dead on this, you can use the 12-volt cable and power it from your car. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.